I'm Josephine, and I'm going to be making a couple of videos about how to make food in a mug. We'll only be using the microwave, so you might need a parent's help, or maybe not. Make sure to wash your hands, and let's get on with our yummy brownie recipe. The first thing you'll need to grab is a mug. This is my favorite mug, and it's a good size for the recipe we'll be making. Our first ingredient is flour. You'll need to level it like this. We'll need 3 tablespoons of flour total, but you don't need to remember that right now. I'll put the entire recipe at the end of the video. Next we have brown sugar. You will also need 3 tablespoons of this. And if you haven't noticed, all the ingredients just go in the mug. Next up is 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. If you don't have any cocoa powder, you can use hot chocolate mix like I did. Next up is 2 tablespoons of oil. I used canola oil, but you can use any oil that you usually use for baking. Next up is 3 tablespoons of water. To make this easier, I put some water in a cup and then transferred it to the mug instead of trying to carry it from the sink. Our next ingredient is a pinch of salt. To make sure you don't get too much salt, I recommend pouring some into your hand. See here, I got way more than I needed. And then you can use your other hand to just grab a tiny bit and put it in the mug. Don't worry, we are almost done with the ingredients. Our next one is just a shake of cinnamon. Our final ingredient before we mix is half a teaspoon of vanilla. Then grab a spoon or fork to mix with. We want to make sure all the ingredients get blended together, but we don't want to mix too much because that can cause problems with the cooking. You should only mix for about 30 seconds total. Also, if you have a fork, be careful that you don't scrape the mug. Once your brownie mix looks pretty well mixed, we have one final ingredient, and that's chocolate chips. But I didn't have any chocolate chips, so I grabbed a bar of chocolate, which also works. We need about 2 teaspoons of chocolate. So I wasn't exactly sure how much that is with the bar, so I just picked these 3 rectangles and started breaking them off into the mix. If you don't have chocolate or chocolate chips, you can also just skip this step. The brownie will still taste wonderful. After that, it's microwave time. Make sure to have someone help you with the microwave if it's not something you're comfortable with yet. I put my brownie in for about 60 seconds, but every microwave is different. When the microwave's finished, you can take your brownie out and take a look. It should look and smell great. The really cool thing about this recipe is that there aren't any eggs, so if your brownie isn't fully cooked, it's still safe to eat. But if it looks a little too gooey, you can always put it in the microwave for a little bit more time. Next is an optional step, but you could see if you have any fun toppings, like maybe try peanut butter on your brownie or caramel sauce. I put some caramel sauce on. You could also try a topping of whipped cream or ice cream, or even some more chocolate chips. The possibilities are endless. Make sure to let your brownie cool before trying it. But when you do try it, I hope that it tastes as great as it looks. Nice work today, everyone. Join me next time for another cool mug recipe. Bye! Oh, and here's that recipe. You can take a picture or screenshot it to use when you're baking. Have fun!